retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
I have.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Alright. What now?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. You're not giving me a whole lot of confidence.
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Why did you help me get them if you don't know how they would help?
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me... a bit, huh? I'll figure it out.
The antenna. Any chance it was damaged or broke the X2 array once removed?
So you're saying it's the X2 array, not the antenna I should be examining. That was most likely my plan, yes. Let me check something. Of course, I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
As long as I get my brain back. Right? I'm gonna go after him.
The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius.
The angry mailman.
That message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
Right. Alright, I gotta bring everything I got, I guess, huh? One big fucking fetch quest. Fuck! Bring it on!
I see you. You won't escape me. Ow. You won't escape me. You won't escape me.
I do not look forward to any of this. Yeah. And I'm out of hydration. You won't escape me! I'm sure. Listen, it's... I figured y'all out, alright? I figured it out. Travel to the Forbidden Dome. Dome. Don't crash.
Tail locking on. Go, my minions. Sting them in the name of holes. Sting them, you stupid.
These ones keep shooting. Oh. Usually they don't shoot their tails.
The eye of Mobius sees you. Feel the full power of my Robo-Scorpion's arson. Go, my minions. Sting them in the name of all that is Mobius.
Stop shooting. Oh! That's a lot of scorpions. Impact. Oh! Wait 24 hours once again to heal up. That is a... I need that, okay? I need it! Alright. Let's go. There is a giant one in there.
Initiate your search and destroy protocol in the name of all that is Mobius.
Oh. Okay. The Saturnite armor plating on the giant Robo-Scorpion has exceeded expectations, mostly while it's virtually impervious to small arms fire. The sonic emitter that Parsons brought in managed to fry several of the prototype subsystems. We'll have to look into improved EMP shielding. On a more positive note, the prototype's new atomic laser is performing admirably. Some residual radiation is left behind. It may be necessary to okay. The constant improvements to the giant Robo-Scorpion has rendered the Protectron modules we've been using as hostile communist forces largely ineffective at this stage. They're little more than distractions. Oh. Backup generator log. The new atomic laser is putting an incredible strain on the giant Robo-Scorpion's generator. The damn thing shuts down right in the middle of weapons testing last week. I pushed for reducing the laser's output by 25%. Instead, they slapped a backup generator onto the Scorpion. Dangerous, if you ask me. The systems weren't designed to handle the power from two systems at once, and if some rookie tech fires up on the backup generator too early, well, here we go. Let's do it. Okay. Now we're gonna go up here.
Crush them with your pincers.
We need to go.
X-42, attack in the name of Mobius. You can't avoid the deadly laser sting of Doctor Mobius.
Oh.
This is a pre-recorded attack message indicating my desire to commit violence on you.
Yeah. Damn. I don't think it knows I'm here. That works for me. Emergency shutdown. Fuck. That's too bad. Might have to actually fight this thing. Huh.
This is a pre-recorded attack message indicating my crush them with your pincers. What? Are you a salesman? Go away! There's no access to the door. It is forbidden and locked.
Damn. This is working. Uh-oh.
Victim?
Oh.
An intruder is here. I'm certain of it. An intruder is here. I'm certain of it. Pitiful. An intruder is here. I'm certain of it.
Yeah? You're stupid. Fuck. There we go. Okay. Okay. That was that. Any loot from the giant robo scorpion? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Well, I found a doctor's bag, so I'll use that. And at the same time, my radiation. Okay. Time for you to open up. Same room.
Every bone in my body. Have them all removed.
Alright!
Hmm? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
I've defeated your giant robo-scorpion. You're next.
Whoa, did I leave that on? I thought I'd powered it down. Was wondering what was causing the power outages.
Not exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Why do you have my brain?
Oh, a variety of raisins.
Raisins?
You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain.
Empty.
A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Exactly. I want my brain so I can leave.
Now, that seems to be rather hormonal of you. Flight or fight response, you know. Hard to cut that out completely. Your brain is here, safe with me. We chat over mentats.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
I'm so confused.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Listen. I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real?
No.
That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Can you tell me about your, robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought, but they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Okay, listen. I thought you were going to be something evil, and you don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
It sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions, then issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
So he's an idiot. Everything you told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name. Mobius.
Doctor Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Huh. Right.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor. I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary...
My brain. Oh.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Okay, is that Seth MacFarlane? Oh, Lord. Cool. So I can talk to my own brain. Can my heart and spine talk too?
Yes. Well, you do know that those particular organs don't have neurons and are thus incapable of speech. Yes?
Well, you don't have a mouth, but you can talk. Explain that, smarty pants.
I don't have... Ugh. I have an inferior frontal gyrus wired directly into a speech synthesizing processor. Your heart can't be wired up to a thought synthesizing processor. You can't talk to it.
And my spine?
Ugh.
You talk a lot of science, brain, but you don't make a lot of sense.
Very well. Let me put this in terms you'll understand. Brain, smart. Heart, stupid. Spine, very stupid. You, exceptionally stupid.
Hey!
Does that explain the matter?
You seem awful smart all of a sudden.
I've been bettering myself, I'll have you know. I've been reading. Actual literature, mind you. Not that La Fontana or Tales of Chivalry drivel. I've been studying the classics, acquiring a solid grounding in medicine and the sciences. Also, I'm fairly certain this tank has been liberally salted with ground mentats.
Right, because you're supposed to be stupid. And speaking of stupid, my head hurts. So please stop.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want to strain your comprehension, would we?
So you're in my brain.
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
You're a dick, you know that?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, a, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge.
Hey!
And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Hmm? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
You listen to me. That is not part of you're my brain! Oh, come on. That stuff's fun, right?
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Hmm? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we?
Yes.
The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Okay. Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing.
Hey!
Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
What about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love? Come on. Come on.
Overrated biological feedback.
Hey!
Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right.
That's right.
That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Yeah, bet you didn't think of that, huh?
Yes, all right, bravo. You've come up with something I neglected to consider. There'll be no living with you now. So, what do we do about this?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
On a second. What do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Doctor Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
But they promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
What's so bad about letting the brains get out? They don't seem that terrible.
Don't seem so bad. They vivisected us just to see what would happen. Have you forgotten the lobotomites? The cyber dogs, I assume you saw those. Imagine that kind of science spread across the entire Mojave. Every man, woman, and child we've met reduced to a lobotomite. Is that what you want?
No. You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Clyde will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Okay.
Oh, I see you and your brain reached a compromise. How pleasant. I hypothesized after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be low on the likely scale.
My brain told me the think tank needs to be stopped. Can you help?
If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. What was that plan? Blast. I probably wrote it down on the floor somewhere.
Well, I need to know your plan.
Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you and forgotten it. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Spent days studying its purpose before my memory circuit kicked in. Felt quiet silly.
Okay, this is too smart for me. I need tactics.
That will be difficult. It would be like fighting 5 scaled-down versions of me that have better depth perception. And they have an arsenal of vivisectors, brainial beams, and a rather nasty ray that can make your atoms do a happy dance. If you could survive those highly improbable odds and ends, then deceasing them is definitely an option. Although, I doubt killing them would do anything except make you feel better. Or let you brag to other humans about your primal violentness.
And that doesn't require violence?
Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans.
Any suggestions on how to make them change their minds?
Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery, love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can spark within each of them. Memories, hormones. A wise man once said, "The eyes do more than see. Make them see, if you can. Or, if not, you can always make them succumb to fear." It certainly worked for me, for a time. Then you came along, and bravery and/or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. Or is this the end? Hard to tell.
You know, how could I scare them?
Oh, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we agree on a few things. That's true, isn't it? Or you could kill me and lie about it. Either way, it would be interesting. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, the better. That's my experience. They're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though, or it'll be the dissection table and vivisectors for you. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. I am Doctor Mobius, after all, not some lab assistant teacher's aide.
Listen. Whatever the fuck y'all are doing is within the confines of the big empty. Nothing goes in, nothing's going out. I got my brain back. Do not make me come back. Do not make me come back. If I find out one negative thing from you, I'm going to crush the remaining 2 of your monitors, and then I'm going to piss on your brain once I break it out of the glass. You understand me? You understand me? Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye.
I sure hope I don't regret that. Forgot to shut off the big scorpion. You gotta be fucking kidding me. After all, they are the ones that trapped me. Took my brain to turn me into a lobotomite. You know something? I never got my audio sample. Where is that? Up there? I guess I was running from the scorpion, huh? Forgot all about that. I'll be taking that. Find samples for the biological research station. Haven't I? Oh. Maybe this will be easier to navigate now that I shouldn't have robo-scorpions everywhere, huh? I swear to fuck, if there's one robo-scorpion, I'm going to go back and kill the fuck out of him.
No surrender.
How do I... Bruh. How do I get up there? Bruh. They're not.
Ready to die for your country?
Bruh. He wasn't making the evil sounds. Oh, I'll let it slide. There's gonna be Robo Scorpions. I want to see how the meatheads play out. I might just kill everyone. I ain't quite decided. Once it... Oh. Once I figure out, the rest, I guess. Meanwhile, nothing new. How about run and gun? How the hell do I get up there? I gotta follow these trails. And what, go this way up? Like, I'm trying to get to my samples. I'm going in the completely opposite direction. I need to get up on top. But how? This is a start. That would be a lobotomite. Okay. Should be up here then. This duffel bag? No. We are getting... Oh. Oh! The hell with that. Seed package. Oh. quick thinking. Here for the XP. Return the samples to the sink. Alright, let's go. What do you mean enemies? There's no enemies here. It crashed. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. Okay. It's fine. We're almost at the end. Almost at the end. At least I'm not stuck trying to fast travel, like finding a spot to do that. Hey.
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you.
Alright, receive my seed.
Ah, yeah, baby. Just slip it in there. All the way down.
Enough. Enough. For you.
What's the haps?
Wish to recalibrate the thing. My revelation, I want to see... Oh. Never mind.
What's the haps?
I found a Soundwave file.
Right on, daddy-o.
There we go. Alright, so what does Scorpion do? Or actually Tarantula. Tarantula... Critical strike. That's not bad, actually.
What's the hap?
And, the Robo Scorpion? Critical strike explosion, even better. Okay. Back on track. Use the sync autodock to retrieve my spine and my heart. Hey.
You require some additional services?
Yes, I would.
And rightly so, I should think. Alright then, let me just fire up the old interface for you.
I need a physical exam. Thank you. As for these. Autodock. How?
You require some additional...
Yeah. Swap body parts? I need my heart, my spine back in my chest. But some advanced technologies remain. You are less resistant to poison, and robots are only somewhat confused by you, but on the bright side, healing items are twice as effective. Okay.
You require some additional...
At the same time, I also need, my spine back. My torso can now be crippled again, but my strength and damage thresholds have doubled. Good. Okay. The think tank.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Doctor Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over, and there's some things that we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
I can't let you dissect Mojave, or let you leave.
Yes, you can. You don't really have an alternative that I can see.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dala?
It's personal. But I would hate if its dying screams revealed any odious personal habits I, or any of us, might have.
Dala, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, are you sure we've calculated all the combat probabilities here? I mean, the lobotomite confronted Mobius. Plus, you know, we haven't had a COMBAT drill in forever. I don't think we could form a tactical attack triangle if we wanted to.
Releasing the WOMBAT was not my plan, so get off my voice box.
Silencing opinionators.
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? The determinators are greater than the hesitators, so hesitators, be quiet. We are bigger, smarter, and floatier than you, lobotomites. We don't wish to fight you, so surrender your brain, now.
You may have noticed the pacification field is down. Can you guess what happens when you have an angry mailman with his brain back?
Fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack! Does this weapon have soft lock? Anyone?
How the hell with it? Hi! We're gonna save Dr. Klein for last. Oh, Dala. We didn't have to do this, sweetheart. I'll show you the power of a fucking ass kicking is what I'll do. Ah! What a shame. Truly. I'm actually pissed off. But, very least I got my brain back. Now I gotta get out of here. But there's nothing in here that's going to stop me. It's almost like this could be my domain. Why is this one so nice? But there's nothing in here. Now. Oh! A pre-war hat to fix my helmet. Lovely. All kinds of hats to fix my helmet. All right. As needed.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt.
Right.
Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there. Tied
Tranquility?
in the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Good.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches.
Hey!
Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses.
releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
Let's go!
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
Good.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves.
There you go.
Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat
I don't think I will.
waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you're only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Your threshold has improved by 10%. Hurrah.
Don't even talk to me. I've seen you with her. understand you're to be congratulated on the recovery of your missing organs. Bravo.
Yeah, thanks. Alright. Fuck this place. Is all I have to say to that. Fuck it!